What's up, truckers? Tricky Mick here. I hope you're doing well. Hope you've got the shiny side up, as I like to say. It's that time of the month again where I go over lease purchase settlements here at Wheeler Trucking as a lease purchase operator. And if you're new to the channel, I do this twice a month so you can see what it's like to be a lease operator. And I am lease purchasing a brand new 2024 Freightliner Cascadia. Truck has gotten around 7.5 mpg and been wonderful for the last 76,000 miles or so. No complaints at all. And I haul heavy duty chassis like F-750s, heavy vans like E-Transits, things like that. And you can find other videos on the channel where I do that. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and let's have a little discussion real quick about what's going on here with my settlements. And this was a particularly great 2 weeks for me, and it's honestly been a really great month. All right, so quick run through on what we're looking at. So on 10/17, I ran through 3,295 miles, and as always, you can see here the loads that I did between Pennsylvania, Kansas, a little bit of Illinois, Missouri, and then back over to Pennsylvania. And a lot of people will say you can't regularly get over 3,000 miles, but I disagree with that. If you're pushing constantly, you can get pretty darn close. And again, as mentioned in other videos, my rate per mile is $2.24 plus fuel surcharge, which right now is 30 cents a mile. So for this past week, my driver pay was $19.01, and the final pay to the truck was $39.0278, giving me right about $58.21 for the week, which I was very happy with. Gives me about $1.76 per mile profit. So that's pretty great if you ask me as a lease purchase operator. And as I mentioned before in other videos, the only thing I would do is cash out a truck instead of, having this high payment of $70 or $768 per week. But I'm making great money. I can't complain. And although it does take a long time to get the truck paid off, there's a dollar buyout, and you're making enough money at the same time to save up and buy a truck cash if that is what you so desire. All right, so let's go over here to 10/24. And I did a similar amount of miles, 3,276. Again, rate per mile is $2.24. And this week it was a 31 cents per mile fuel surcharge, where I ended up with $19.0794 to driver pay, and final pay to the truck was $36.85. And I also had a oil change here, and we do oil changes every other month. This one was $4.59. Sometimes they're a little bit more, a little bit less. And realistically, these Cascadias are very reliable trucks. They don't typically need a whole lot of work. If you look at Penske, you can go and see history on some of those trucks, and most of them with 600,000 have really only had an air conditioner and maybe a small thing or two with maybe the brakes or the air dryer, things like that. Not super expensive repairs, with some high mileage on them. All right, so for the total of the month, let's see here. It was, for this past week, was $55.92, given $1.70 per mile. And again, I'm very happy with that. It's pretty good pay if you ask me. So for the 2 weeks, I was at $11,413 in profit between the two checks. All right, so now if you see here, I ran from, again, from Pennsylvania over to Ohio, back out to Dallas, over here to Hockley, had a few stops, back over to Kansas City, and back over to Ohio. Now this is like a best case scenario for my weeks. Most weeks I'm a little bit lower than this, but some weeks I can get as high as 3,500. The truck is set to 70 mile per hour governor, and honestly, most of the time I'm doing a lot slower than that anyways. And again, like I said, here's a little breakdown of, like the HUT taxes, the IFTA taxes, insurance, things like that. And then you can see here, my escrow is getting built up, and once that gets to 3,000, I won't have any more taken out for escrow. Once the maintenance fund gets to 30,000, I won't have any more coming out for that. So that's $450 a week that's going to be saved. And again, I'm pretty happy with the lease purchase program. The only thing I would change, again, like I said, is outright buying a truck cash. So let me know in the comments what you think below. Do you think that this is good money? Are you making more as a traditional owner-operator? And overall, what do you think of the lease purchase programs? Well, I'm Tricky Mick. Keep the shiny side up, and I will catch you next time.